Are you ready, kids?
And the crowd roars.
We did it!
I know y'all are falling on the floor at home,
Yeah,
hopefully
well,
from joy of the music.
so folks, I know everybody's at home kind of hanging out with each other, which is what you should be doing. I guess it's kind of interesting how sometimes life will throw us these things, even though this is a pretty extreme thing.
Yeah.
But we'll throw us these things, and it kind of makes you take note of the people that are next to you. So I'm hoping that there are a lot of folks at home sitting with their families, staying safe, staying healthy, hanging out with us tonight. Yeah.
We want to really thank the Laurel County Library for having us today. I wish you were here. It's a beautiful place.
Kentucky.
We also want to let you know that make sure and subscribe, like, and go to the Laurel County Library Facebook page. And if you like, comment, you will be in a drawing for some wonderful Spoon Lady and Tater Boy merchandise. There are
And
3 different
share.
winners going to be chosen.
Yep,
And
yep.
you will find out Monday on the Laurel County Library Facebook page who won the fabulous packages,
Yeah. So
including our new CD.
like, comment, share,
It's even
subscribe, do all
autographed.
those things. Yep. What are we playing next?
Let's play Bonaparte's Retreat.
All right.
Met the girl I love in a town way down in Dixie. 'Neath the stars up above, she was the sweetest girl I ever did see. So I held her in my arms and told her of her many charms. We kissed while the fiddles played the Bonaparte's Retreat. All the world was bright as I held her on that night, and
like we practiced it all week.
Oh, did you practice that at all this week?
We figured out a while ago that we're going to be together for a while. Us three riding around. We've been quarantined longer than y'all have.
We've been quarantined together for long before the virus.
Thank goodness we can kind of tolerate each other.
And
Emphasis on kinda.
y'all might have heard some folks clapping in the audience there. Those are the fine folks here at the Laurel County Library here in London, Kentucky, where we are.
Less than 10. In fact, there's
Everyone
Or
is
less
6
than 10.
feet away from each other. Don't worry, we're all being safe. And I hope that everybody at home is nice and safe and healthy.
Right. And I think we'll do another song, Dusty.
I think we will. Soon. Rye whiskey.
Oh. But there's a lot of that going on right now.
If the sea was rye whiskey and I was a duck, I'd swim to the bottom and never come up. But the sea's not rye whiskey and I'm not a duck, so I guess I'll go walking and then I'll get drunk. Rye whiskey, I cry. If I don't have rye whiskey, I surely will die. Rye whiskey, I cry. If I don't have rye whiskey, I surely will die. I'll tune up my fiddle and rosin my bow. I'll make myself welcome wherever I go. I'll eat when I'm hungry and drink when I'm dry. The hard times don't kill me, I'll live till I die. Rye whiskey, I cry. If I don't have rye whiskey, I surely will die. Rye whiskey, I cry. If I don't have rye whiskey, I surely will die. Jack of diamonds, I know you of old. You robbed my poor pockets of silver and gold. Oh, whiskey, you villain, you've been my downfall. You kicked me, you puffed me, but I love you of all. Rye whiskey, I cry. If I don't have rye whiskey, I surely will die. Rye whiskey, I cry. If I don't have rye whiskey, I surely will die. No lovers to quarrel, no babies to fall. The worst way of living's no problems at all. I brag of my knowledge and boast of my sense, but my life won't be nothing 100 years hence. Rye whiskey, I cry. If I don't have rye whiskey, I surely will die. Rye whiskey, I cry. If I don't have rye whiskey, I surely will die. Rye whiskey, I cry. If I don't have rye whiskey, I surely will die. Rye whiskey, I cry. Next shrill, brother, would you skip me? I'm ready to die.
Just want everybody to know I'm the elder person in this band, and they're taking good care of me. And they told me that if I wanted to go to the grocery store, I'd be fine if I just wore a mask and gloves. Well, let me tell you, they lied to me. I got there, and everybody else had all their clothes on.
Oh no.
I also saw that
Oh.
meme.
He's such a bad joke
Thanks, Dusty, for
teller.
running that joke for me. You're such a
Oh
team player.
my goodness. All
We
right.
hope everybody is safe out there.
What are we playing?
Let's play policeman.
All
This
right.
one's about running from the law. We don't know nothing about that.
Nothing about running.
Nothing about that.
come?
Whether it's in the morning or the evening.
All right, so folks, you can now purchase one of these here CDs, the Spoon Lady and the Tater Boys and the Dirt and Thriving. We just spent some time recording just a couple weeks ago with our friends at the Ghost Motel. And by the way, a little shout out to them. They've got a really great YouTube channel with all sorts of really great artists passing through all the time. So I suggest checking out the Ghost Motel on YouTube. But you can find these albums on Bandcamp, both digital download and a physical copy, and also on spoonlady.com. So there you go.
The new album is here.
And there are a lot of artists and venues that are hurting right now. So little thought, if you are listening to music and really, really want to support some of your favorite bands, a good way to do that is purchasing some merch, not just us, but any of those musicians that you wish to support right now, because there's a lot of folks who are having a hard time because we can't gather crowds anymore. It's a little tough if you can't gather a crowd, and that's what you do for a living. So a little shout out to all of our artist friends and all of our musician friends who are also having a hard time.
Hang in there. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. We'll all make through this together.
We want to give a shout out to one of our listeners, Tammy Patton. Hello, Tammy Patton. Tater Boys and Spoon Lady say hello. We're glad you're here and enjoying the music.
Yeah.
What do you think now, Dustin? You got another one?
You want to do skip through you want to do fly around? Let's do fly around.
That'll work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That was a yeah face.
We've
Yeah.
been flying
I couldn't tell
around
for
a
a
little bit
second.
lately.
Yeah. I like that one. Here.
There it is.
The tub is always in tune.
Well, how'd you make your living now, Susanna girl? Drinking whiskey, playing cards, Susanna girl. Fly around my precipice, fly around my daisy, fly around my precipice, no one drives me crazy. There's 16 horses in my team leader, he was blind. Come back that rocky road, see that gal of mine. Fly around my precipice, fly around my daisy, fly around my precipice, no one drives me crazy. Going down to New Orleans, band on my shoulder, I said,
And we also want to thank Teresa Gibbs for watching on the broadcast. Remind everybody to please go to the Laurel County Library's Facebook page, and if you will like and comment, you might get a chance to win some really groovy Abby the Spoon Lady and Tater Boy merchandise. They will have the winner Monday, and you just need to check it on the Facebook page, and they'll be able to tell you who wins all that wonderful stuff. Is that the fight bell? Get me started. I'm ready to row. I'm sorry. See, this is what happens. You get ganged up on by Abby all by herself.
See what I have to deal with?
Now what are you going to do, Dusty?
Yeah, Dusty, it's your turn.
Yeah, Dusty, it's, oh shit. I mean, oops. Let's do Cluckle Hand.
Gotcha.
My old hen's a good old hen. She lays eggs in an old dustbin. An old hen, fucking sit. Sit them eggs and hatch some chicks. An old hen, fucking squall. Ain't laid her eggs since way last fall. An old hen, fucking sing. Let that sad this time last spring. My old hen only got one leg. Best damn hen ever laid an egg. Spent her life in a wire cage. Now she's hopping all over the place. My old hen, fucking squall. Ain't laid her eggs since way last fall. My old hen, fucking sing. Let that sad this time last spring. My old hen, she cackles in the morn, crackles and caws for scratching corn. My old hen, fucking scratch, take them bugs in the garden patch. My old hen, fucking squall, ain't laid her eggs since way last fall. My old hen, fucking sing, except that sad first time last spring. The old hen, as you please, bathed in the dust by the old pine tree. Life was hard at the factory, now she lives her life of ease. The old hen, fucking squall, ain't laid an egg since way last fall. The old hen, fucking sing, except that sad first time last spring.
What a crowd.
The crowd goes wild.
All right, folks. It sounds like we're having a little bit of trouble with some Facebook stuff, so but keep commenting and keep talking because we're going to be looking through those comments later for giveaways and stuff. And again, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Click
That's
that
how we
bell
make the
below.
bells ring.
Also, folks, another really quick shout out to Tanya.
Oh, of course. Yep.
We have a very good friend of ours, Tanya, who takes care of our Spoon Lady fan group, and
She's the best.
yeah, we want to give her a big internet hug
And you're okay
because
too, Joe.
she does a lot of stuff for us, and it makes the world a difference to us. So big shout out to her.
Thank you, Tanya. And Joe, too.
Joe, yeah, and Joe too.
He gets to hang out with Tanya, so.
He gets to hang out with Tanya. Lucky guy.
This song goes out to them.
Yeah, what are we playing?
Oh no!
wasn't no death,
All
was
of
it?
the songs are sad.
All of the songs.
Let's just skip it through the frosted snow because that's what I had in mind.
All right, sounds good.
Gotcha.
I'm skipping through the frost and the snow. Skipping through the frost and the snow. Skipping through the frost and the snow. Oh Lord. Skipping through the frost and the snow. Darling, what can I do? Darling, what can I do? If we ain't find loose, then surely I am just a fool. Darling, what can I do? Baby, let your hand in mine. Baby, let your hand in mine. Let your hand in mine. Neither of us can deny. Darling, we are running out of time. Oh, baby, let your hair roll down. Baby, let your hair roll down. Let your hair roll down and your bangs hang all around. Baby, let your hair roll down. And we'll go skipping through the frost and the snow. Skipping through the frost and the snow. Skipping through the frost and the snow, oh Lord. Skipping through the frost and the snow. Baby, where you been so long? Baby, where you been so long? Well, I've been in the pen with the rough and rowdy man. That's where I've been so long. Tell you what, 3 hots and a cot ain't all it's cracked up to be. I was wishing for the frost and the snow. Wishing for the frost and the snow. Wishing for the frost and the snow, oh Lord. Wishing for the frost and the snow.
Way to go,
3
Jack.
hots and a cot ain't great, but
Well,
do
that's
know
what we're
that
looking
it's
for right
ramen
now.
You should be stocking up on, not toilet paper.
Thank you, Deborah St. John and Sarah from Somerset Community College. We're glad you're out there, and we hope you're safe.
I got a tune. My bad. Keep going.
Yeah, while he tunes the banjo,
Should have been looking.
we've been on the road since January, and this past couple of weeks has been bizarre. But we want to thank all the people. We found a great place to park last night in London, Kentucky, in a park that was just perfect, and they let us in for half price, and because we're the only people there, it was perfect.
Yep. And I guess we're gonna go back to my hometown after this broadcast. hang out with my kid and hang out at my parents' house and have a good time.
Yeah, I can tell how thrilled you are, Abby.
Going back to Wichita. And so yeah, I hope you all keep on following and waiting on some updates, because all the shows that we've had to cancel over the last month, we will reschedule every single one, including this show that we were supposed to be doing here at the Laurel County Library. We're also going to be coming back here. So make sure to, again, like, share, subscribe. Make sure to sign up for the Laurel County Library's events and things, because they're going to have some other stuff coming up, despite the fact that we have this craziness upon us. We're still going to have some good times, reach out, over the internet or whatever else it takes for us to be a great community and to hang out and love on one another. We can do that via the internet now. It's 2020, so it's okay. We're going to be okay.
Also, and I'm speaking for my peeps, the elderly, just make sure, from a safe distance, make sure they're okay. If they're at the grocery store, let them go first, whatever you need to do. But they're the most susceptible and the most, in my opinion, the most overlooked in our society. And so let's give them a little love from a distance.
There you go.
That's right. So I get to go first at the grocery store is what I'm trying to say.
You're saying let me go first to the grocery. Oh, what are we playing, Dusty?
Let's do that one song.
That one?
Well, Dan Tucker was a fine old man, washed his face in a frying pan, combed his hair with a wagon wheel, and died with a toothache in his heel. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Well, Dan Tucker was a fine old man, washed his face in a frying pan, combed his hair with a wagon wheel, and died with a toothache in his heel. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Well, Dan Tucker, he come to town, swinging them flames all around. First to the right, and then to the left, and then with the gal that he loved best. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Well, Dan Tucker, he come to town, riding a billy goat, leading a hound. Hound dog bark, the billy goat jump, landed old Tucker on a stump. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. If you drunk, get he run his mouth, get him at your way, pie, get him at your way, pie, get him at your way. If you drunk, get he run his mouth, get him at your way, pie, get him at your way, pie, get him at your way. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Wu-Tang's for the children.
I've had to resort to combing my hair with a wagon wheel.
I've been there as well.
And I think I was walking by somebody the other day and they called me Old Dan Tucker. I'm pretty sure that's what they said.
Is that what they said?
I'm pretty sure. I hope that's what they said. We want to thank Dee Dee Hampton and Tiny Dillard for listening and watching today. I wish I had a cool name like Tiny. Now what are you going to do?
Let's do a Raleigh Spencer. Well, Riley and Spencer burning to the ground. There ain't no more liquor in this town. No, there ain't no more liquor in this town. Well, what you gonna do to wet your lips when the hold up on world has run dry? Yes, the hold up on world has run dry. Upon you my shoes for a little pile of booze. I drink till I lay right down and die. Yes, I drink till I lay right down and die. I tell more lies than the stars in the sky. I'll never get to heaven when I die. No, I'll never get to heaven when I die. I take more dreams you can grow in one season. I'll tell you one doggone lie. Yes, I'll tell you one doggone lie. You can tramp down the flowers around my grave, but their eyes are blue again. Yes, their eyes are blue again. I've been all around this wide wicked world. I've been down to sunny Tennessee. Yes, I've been down to sunny Tennessee. Well, I've been all around this wide wicked world. I've been down to Delta, Mississippi. Yes, I've been down to Delta, Mississippi. They threw me in jail. I bet you did. I tell more lies than the stars in the sky. I'll never get to heaven when I die. No, I'll never get to heaven when I die. That ain't no lie.
You know, sometimes you have to look for the good and all that goes on, even in this bad situation. And we've got Dusty not just washing his hands. We told him that the Surgeon General said he had to wash his feet too. And please don't tell him any different.
It's working out for us.
That's right.
It's working out just fine.
Hand sanitizer, it was not required, just a little soap. Once
Yep, yep.
again, Laurel
know
County
I'm the
Library is
cleanest train
giving
ride
away
I know.
3 wonderful packages. Go to their Facebook page, like and comment, and you too could be the proud winner of some Spoon Lady Tater Boy product. Need I say more? And they will let everybody know on Monday who wins on their Facebook page.
And folks, if you want a copy of the album, you can find it on spoonlady.com, or you can find it on Bandcamp. Spoon Lady and the Tater Boys. Do a little quick googly search and you could find us. Make sure to subscribe to the library's events, though, because they're going to be doing some more stuff like this, I think, and
Including
coming up
us.
here in the future. So make sure you're not sitting at home bored, and you won't be bored if you're hanging out here with the nice library folks.
But these guys here at the library, they're all wild. It's like a crowd of 50 people here, and there's only like 4 of them. But they're like, it's crazy. We really appreciate it, too. Feel like we're busking in Asheville on a Tuesday. Except for all you millions at home.
Should we do Odette? That's what I had on the list, and then it occurred to me.
My wedding
that
song.
might
Yeah.
be in poor taste.
Let's do it.
Oh, what is this that I can't see with icy hands taking hold of me? Oh, I am dead and can exhale. I open the doors of heaven or hell. Oh, death, oh, death, can't you spare me over till another year? Oh, death, oh, death, can't you spare me over till another year? Death, oh, death, how can it be that I must come and go with thee? Death, oh, death, how can it be I'm unprepared for eternity? Yes, I have come to get your soul, to leave your body and leave it cold, to drop the flesh from off your frame. The earth and worms both have their claim. Death, oh death, if this be true, please give me time to reason with you. From time to time you heard and saw, I'll close your eyes and I'll lock your door. Oh death, can't you spare me over till another year? Oh death, can't you spare me over till another year? I'll lock your jaw so you can't talk. I'll fix your feet so you can't walk. I'll close your eyes so you can't see. This very hour, come and go with me. Death, oh death, consider my age, and please don't take me at this stage. Wealth is all at your command, if you will move your icy hand. No wealth, no age, no silver nor gold, nothing satisfies me but your poor soul. The old, the young, the rich, the poor, they like you will have to go. Oh death, can't you spare me over another year? Oh death, can't you spare me over another year? Death, oh death, please let me see if God has turned his back on me. When you were cold and asked to bow, you would not heed, and it's too late now. I am dead, I am dead, I won't spare you over till another year. I am dead, I am dead, spare too long, your hour draws near. Death, oh death, just give me time to fix my heart and change my mind. Your heart is fixed, your mind is bound, I have the shackles to drag you down. Oh death, can't you spare me over till another year? Oh death, can't you spare me over till another year? Too late, you all farewell. Your soul is doomed, you are summoned to
not say hello to everybody. Willie the Spoon Dog.
Willie the Spoon Dog.
He has been on stage with us through all our performances thus far, and he has done very well.
Yeah.
He actually behaves better than Dusty.
Sometimes.
Oh, and Willie has his own Facebook page. If you go to Wilson the Dog, you can see what Willie's got going on right now.
That was quick.
I know it.
Well, shout out there to Vicky Glinsky. Right.
Hey, Vicky, thank you for listening, watching.
There you go.
You can lay back down now, Willie. Okay, that's the best shot we can get today of Willie.
All right, folks. You want me to tell a story?
Only if you want to. I'm in tune.
We can do either one. You want to play another one? Then I'll tell a story.
Let's do another. Let's do There's a Time.
All right.
And then maybe we can get Abby to tell us a story.
Maybe.
Well, I wasn't tuned.
Maybe. You were in tune. Here.
Oh, thanks. There is a time for love and laughter. Days will pass like summer storms. Winter winds will follow after. There is love, love is warm. There is a time for us to wander. When time is young and so are we. Woods are green, are over yonder. Path is new, the world is free. There is a time when leaves are falling. Woods are gray, the paths are old. The snow will come when leaves are falling. In need of fire against the cold. There is a time for us to wander. When time is young and so are we. Woods are green, are over yonder. Path is new, the world is free. So do your roping in the springtime. Find your love in the summer sun. The frost will come and bring the harvest. You can sleep when day's done. There is a time for us to wander. When time is young and so are we. Woods are green, are over yonder. Path is new, the world is free. Time is like a river flowing, no regrets, it moves on. Around each bend, the shining morning, with all the friends come or gone. There is a time for us to wander. When time is young and so are we. Woods are green, are over yonder. Path is new, the world is free. Path is new, the world is free. Path is new, the world is free.
Our favorite song from the Andy Griffith Show.
Yep.
Story time.
Now it's time to tell a story.
All right, folks. I'm not sure what story to tell. I don't know. I guess, so we do storytelling nights from time to time, and so hopefully one day y'all can come out and see us at one of our storytelling events, because they're pretty fun. I like them. I like our storytelling events. And, and for me, storytelling has been something that's been kind of a growing passion for me. I first started getting into storytelling a few years back, and I was so scared of talking in front of people that I got into volunteer radio to get over my fear. I figured it was a good way I could tell stories without people actually looking back at me. And it's kind of like hanging out alone with your friends to do radio.
I've been told I have a face for radio.
Well, for me, it was a good way to just kind of, get that practice in without feeling that nervousness of people watching me and looking back at me. And so radio became one of those places to do that. And it gave me a chance to learn how to tell a story by conducting those interviews too, folks that were coming in. The more you ask questions, the easier it is for you to tell your own story, the more stories you hear, because it starts letting you understand a little bit of what parts of your story or may not be so normal to somebody else, because what's normal to one person may not be normal to the next. It's really important for us to be able to share stories with each other. That's how we grow and we learn about different cultures and different ways of thinking. And oftentimes we also learn that we're wrong about a few things. And it's important to learn when we're wrong. It is.
I'll let you know what happens.
Okay. That's nice. Let's see. What story should I tell?
Tell the couch story.
Tell the couch story. All right.
Are you allowed?
I'm telling the couch story. Statute of limitations won't grab me, will it? All right. So I started to play spoons because I was traveling around the country. I was backpacking and hopping on freight trains and doing all that kind of stuff. And when I first started traveling in that way, I was standing in line at labor pools. I had a forklift driving license. You can't hardly make any money waiting in line at labor pools. You hardly ever go out. You don't make enough money at the end of the day to get... I mean, you would have to choose between a motel room and a meal if you were out and about like that. And so for me, it seemed, after I started traveling and I started watching other travelers around me play music, it seemed like the smartest thing to do was for me to learn how to play something. I couldn't afford a guitar, nor could I play one. And I can hit a note, but I sure can't hold one. And so a friend stole some spoons off of outdoor seating at a Paula Deen restaurant in Savannah, Georgia. Taught me how to hold them in my hand and how to roll them down my fingers. And I started messing with it from there on. And at first, folks were annoyed with me. People would pay me to leave. It was awful. I was terrible. And eventually it was, oh, bless your heart, here's a few bucks. And then eventually, I started gathering little crowds and it kind of moved on from there. And, but traveling by train, you also learn other kinds of skills too. You learn that it's a lot easier to get across the country on foot than it is across town. That's one thing you learn. Except in case of Nashville, we used to taxi cab the freight train from downtown to the Waffle House once in a while. But we also used to take this train from Nashville, Tennessee to Memphis. And it was a pretty consistent train. I would spend a lot of time in Nashville because at the time, which it isn't now, but at the time it was a great place for street music. And so I would very often hang out in Nashville and be riding in and out of that as my hub. And that line going into Memphis, although by a car it only takes a few hours, by train from Nashville to Memphis on a freight train, it takes 16 hours. That's because you got to stop and wait for other trains to go by and stop and wait for other trains to go by.
It's faster right now because the Federal Railroad Administration declared a state of emergency. Less crew changes.
Oh, goodness. Don't listen to him. He's a bad influence.
Oh, it's faster right now.
Do not ride trains.
That's right. All right. So I used to take this train from Nashville to Memphis, and in between Nashville and Memphis, at one of these spots where you would just side out and pull over for another train to go by, we we're sitting there waiting in this big empty gondola car, me and about 3 other friends. And we hear this feller mowing his lawn, right? And we kind of peek out over the top of the car, and we notice this guy has railroad stuff all around his fence on all sides. He's got this little track in his backyard of a little train going around in a track. And the first thought we have is, oh, it's a rail fan. And for those who who know something about trains, maybe know that a lot of railroad fans will call the police on hobos really, really quick. And so we duck down, and we're trying to be real, real quiet, and we're like, oh, well, there's no way you could hurt us, right? But the train doesn't move, and the train doesn't move, and the train doesn't move. And then finally we hear these footsteps on the rocks coming up. And then we hear sheriff's department, throw your bags over. So we throw our bags over, and we crawl down off the car, and he calls up the railroad police or the railroad bull, and railroad bull says that he doesn't want to come out and just to write down our names, and so he writes down our names, and the sheriff does, and he looks at us real serious, and he says, we don't like strangers in our town, so I'm just going to leave you right here by this train, and I think you know what to do. So we just got right back on the train and went on to Memphis, right? So we're in Memphis. And in Memphis, you can go down to Beale Street, you do some street performing, whatever, downtown. But on the way back, there's this big, huge bridge. And next to this bridge, on top of the bridge here, is this furniture store, used furniture. And underneath the bridge is all these sand dunes. And then there's this retaining wall between all these sand dunes and the railroad tracks. And these trains going out to Nashville, they pull out and wait for about 5 minutes, pull back in, grab another string of cars, pull out, wait for 5 minutes, and then they shoot on back off to Nashville. But because this furniture store is on top of this bridge, people would just dump all this furniture there at the furniture store. And then the furniture store would take the furniture and just dump it right under the bridge. So we're under the bridge. We have full-on living room sets, coffee tables, lamps, and, all this stuff. We ain't got no power, but we're setting up the lamps like we do anyway. But this one time we when we go under there, somebody had put this really nice pleather couch underneath there, and it is so nice. 2 people could lay across it. We all fit across this thing sitting. And so we take this couch. We're so comfortable on it. We took this couch and we put it up next to this retaining wall, and we're sitting there waiting on our train. Up the street from here, there's also this church. Give you a little sack lunch with a PB&J and a little juice box and an orange or an apple or something. And so we go up the street and we get our little sack lunch. We come back and we wait on the couch. We're waiting on our train. And this thing is so comfortable. By the time the train got there, we decided to take the couch with us. And I'm not sure, if any of y'all have ever been, stood next to a boxcar where there's rocks for a train. It is really tall. And it is hard to get up there just one person alone, let alone with some gear, let alone with a giant pleather couch. So, I think at one point all of us had this thing, up, and then I think it even fell on top of us. But eventually we got this couch up on this train within our allotted 5-minute time that we had, and all got us up onto this boxcar. And the next thing you know, we're going down the track, sitting on the couch, sipping on our juice boxes, watching the scenery go by. We made all these jokes, though, about how maybe we should have, brought like an end table and a lamp or something with us, and then just let it roll on into the Nashville train yard and let the yard workers open it up. Of course, it would have been better with a bathrobe and a cup of coffee and a newspaper or something coming up to the door. But when we got to Nashville, going into Nashville, I would look for this playground, and that playground was my signal that we were going into the yard that's located there underneath the Union Station Hotel in Nashville. And so we'd start slowing down. Of course, we want to keep the couch because it's a nice couch. So we pushed the couch off there underneath the bridge there where the hobo jungle used to be. And it sat there up until the point where the hobo jungle no longer was. Now, back then, if you were to look on top of the bridge in Nashville, looking down onto where folks were hopping out and catching trains there, you would see a bunch of debris. You'd see maybe a lot of trash. Maybe sometimes people would look down there and say, oh, well, somebody should clean that up. You know, but for us, you go down there and you would see train tags from hobos from the teens and the 20s underneath that bridge. You'd find pop tops and things, relics from World War I, World War II. You'd find all sorts of neat hobo history. That had been the hop-out spot for train travelers since the teens. That means Leadbelly could have sat there. Harry McClintock could have sat there. And so for us, when that space turned into condos that it now is, we felt like we were missing out on history, like there should be a historical plaque there. Like something very serious was missing. You know, and so again, I'm going to reiterate the importance of storytelling. How important it is for you to hear those little bits and pieces that are part of the history of the things around you that maybe you didn't know. There's a lot of history that's kind of brewing underground that people don't hear about. You know, so hopefully when all this stuff is free and clear, y'all come see us at a storytelling night. And, yeah.
Yay. Thank you, Miss Abby.
Yeah.
We all have stories to tell.
That's right. It's important to tell stories.
Making some new ones now.
That's what's up.
On that note, let's play a song that's near and dear to my heart.
All right.
Hobo song, Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Speaking of Harry McClintock.
One evening as the sun went down and the jungle fires were burning, down the track came a hobo hiking and he said, boys, I'm not turning. I'm headed for a place that's far away beside the crystal fountain. So come with me, we'll go and see the Big Rock Candy Mountain. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, there's a land that's fair and bright, where the hand-ups grow on bushes and you sleep out every night. The boxcars all are empty and the sun shines every day on the birds and the bees and the cigarette trees, the lemonade springs where the bluebirds sing in the Big Rock Candy Mountain. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, you never change your socks, and the little streams of alcohol come trickling down the rocks. The farmers' trees are full of fruit and the barns are full of hay. There's a lake of stew and a whiskey too. You can paddle all around it in a big canoe in the Big Rock Candy Mountain. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, all the cops have wooden legs, and the bulldogs all have rubber teeth, and the hens lay soft-boiled eggs. The brakemen have to tip their hats, and the railway pulls a blind. Oh, I'm bound to go where there ain't no snow, where the sun always shines, the wind don't blow in the Big Rock Candy Mountain. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, all the jails are made of tin, and you can walk right out again as soon as you are in. There ain't no short-handed shovels, no axes, saws, or picks. Oh, I'm bound to stay where you sleep all day, where they hung the jerk who invented work in the Big Rock Candy Mountain. I'll see you all this coming fall in the Big Rock Candy Mountain.
That song is on the new In the Dirt and Thriving album.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Thank you, Gail Grant, for watching us on the broadcast. Here's a bell for you.
Thanks, Willie.
Good job, Willie.
Calm down.
Thanks, Willie.
Couldn't have done it
Here he
without you.
comes.
Thanks, Willie.
Willie is alive.
So nice of
He's
you to
alive.
hang out with us.
Let's do another one that Willie likes.
Let's do.
Which one do you want? What do you want to play, Willie?
Just don't play. It's nothing but a hound dog again.
Let's do Union Man.
All right.
This is an old pop song that Woody Guthrie repurposed into a Union song, and yeah, it's called Union Maid or Red Wing. And Abby likes this song. You heard it here. There it is. There it is. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking with the Union. I'm sticking with the Union. I'm sticking with the Union. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking with the Union. I'm sticking with the Union till the day I die. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking with the Union. I'm sticking with the Union. I'm sticking with the Union. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking with the Union. I'm sticking with the Union till the day I die.
Thank you, Gail Grant. I'm not sure if I gave her a shout out yet or not,
Yeah,
but we're going to
we
shout
can
out.
shout
We'll
out.
give her another one.
Yeah.
Williams left the building.
All right,
Oh,
folks.
oh, he's out in the books.
Out and about, out in the books. All right, folks. If you're just now tuning in, we still got a few songs left. We are broadcasting from London, Kentucky, at the Laurel County Library. So again, keep commenting, liking, and sharing, and you can get registered to win a little bit of a giveaway here. Some Spoon Lady and Tater Boys merchandise. We also have these CDs here. You can find on spoonlady.com. We just got copies, So you could be one of the lucky ones.
Just in time for the quarantine.
Just in time for the quarantine. You could have something to listen to there. Now, folks, speaking of stuff to listen to, again, folks, like, share, comment, and the Laurel County Library is going to be doing more events similar to this. So make sure to kind of follow up and watch their events no matter where you're at, because you could find some really cool stuff coming up on your feed via the library. Yep.
We love the Laurel County Library.
We do. That is very true.
I look forward to doing a show.
In
here
fact,
soon
we
as
had a
can.
moment earlier. We were thinking about just quarantining here for a while,
Yep,
but
they said that they won't let us. We messed up and told them what we were going to do. Easier to ask for forgiveness and permission sometimes.
They won't. I like that. That was nice. Should we do what should we do?
let's play the crawdad song.
Okay, let's play
do
the crawdad
that.
song. That was the same. That was just the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, I like this one.
Got to the point in the show where I tune and then it just goes.
You gotta figure this out here.
You don't have to hear any of that on the new album.
Yeah, we cut it all out.
That's right, there's
Except
no
for the
tune.
part where I say, "Good job, Willie."
Beautiful.
Well,
Well,
you get a line I can pull, honey. You get a line I can pull, babe. You get a line I can pull, we'll go down and draw that hole, honey. Babe, mine. Well, Frogman Courtney, he did right, Frogman Courtney, he did right, Frogman Courtney, he did right, sword and pistol by his side, Well, he went down to Miss Mouse's store, He went down to Miss Mouse's store, He went down to Miss Mouse's store where he had often been before, Well, he took Miss Mouse upon his knee, Said, Miss Mouse, will you marry me, Without my Uncle Red's consent, I wouldn't marry the president, Well, you get a line I can pull, honey. You get a line I can pull, babe. You get a line I can pull, we'll go down and draw that hole, honey. Babe, mine. Well, Uncle Red gave his consent, Uncle Red gave his consent, Uncle Red gave his consent, and Weezer wrote the publishment, Well, where will the wedding supper be, Where will the wedding supper be, Where will the wedding supper be? Way down yonder in a hollow tree, Well, you get a line I can pull, honey. You get a line I can pull, babe. You get a line I can pull, we'll go down and draw that hole, honey. Babe, mine. Well, from a flying moth, First come in was a flying moth, First come in was a flying moth, and he let out the tablecloth, Well, next come in was a Judy bug, Next come in was a tater bug, Next come in was a tater bug. She brought the vodka and water jug, Well, last come in was a big bad snake, Last come in was a big bad snake, Last come in was a big bad snake, chased them all into the lake, Well, you tide playing for frog and a mouse. As a tide playing for frog, we got two eyes. I saw it all. Sweet honey babe. Let me hear that tick-tack string. Yes, honey, babe, mine.
The fine instrument. We want to thank Ted Messer and Ronnie Decker. There are some guys listening to us. That's good to hear. Thank you, Ted and Ronnie. Glad you're here.
There it is. That was the one string that made everything sound off. Look at that. Cool.
Much
Let's
better.
see. Yeah. Let's do Chicken Rio.
All right.
You want to cluck along to this song while you're watching in your home? You should.
It's important, actually.
It's called Chicken Rio. Can't live right, I don't want to live wrong. That's why you hear me singing this song. Want y'all to understand what I have to say. Once I had a fortune, but I threw it away. That's the end of the song.
Once again, don't forget to like and comment on the Laurel County Library Facebook page and check with them Monday to see who won this humongous Spoon Lady Tater Boy package prize.
Is that what it is?
I hope I win.
Maybe I'll win.
What do you, wait, I'm getting a look at somebody and apparently we can't win. Oh well, story of our lives.
Can't win.
That sounds familiar.
Let's
What are
do
we doing now? We got two more.
Let's do Ain't No Grave.
Okay.
We just did a video with the Ghost Motel, and we did this song. It's also on the album.
It is also on the album.
It's a good.
It's a good.
It's good. Well, shame is a prison, cruel as any grave. Shame is a robber, and he's come to take my name. There ain't no grave, hold my body down. Ain't no grave, can hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna rise up out of the ground. Ain't no grave. Well, fear is a liar with a sweet and velvet tongue. Fear is a tyrant, he's telling me to run. There ain't no grave to hold my body down. Ain't no grave to hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna rise up out of the ground. Ain't no grave. My body down.
Thank you again so much. We want to remind you, the Laurel County Library, follow their events page. Also go on their Facebook page, comment, like, and you too can win great prizes. And they're great people. We just thank y'all so much for having us. And
one last time, we do have this brand new wonderful album. You can find this here CD, Spoon Lady and the Tater Boys, In the Dirt and Thriving. Some of the songs we just played are on this album. But you can find them on spoonlady.com. You can also find them on Bandcamp. So go ahead and order one, order a bunch. Get yourself busy through this time. We're all kind of sitting around the house, being healthy.
Sitting around the bus.
Sitting around the bus, in our case.
And I want to do a quick shout out real quick. Chad Brockwell, you have a CD coming. I'm just letting you know.
Yep,
Because he'll be watching. We love Chad. Super fan from back home.
All right, we got one more.
Is this a hit?
This is the hit.
Oh,
This is our one
that
hit.
one.
You
Thanks,
hear this
George.
on any top 40 radio
From
from 1913. I
Thanks,
crack us up.
Take it away, George.
All right.
Stupid.
One, two. In constant sorrow through his days, I am a man in constant sorrow. I have seen troubles all my days, and I've said my farewells north of Milwaukee, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he
Thank you, Laurel County Library. Folks, stay safe.
Thank you, everybody.
Keep your hands washed. Follow us. And God bless Laurel County and all y'all.